My name's Megan Townsend. I'm our Community and Economic Development Director for the Wasatch Front Regional Council. The Wasatch Front Regional Council is a metropolitan planning organization serving the Salt Lake area. As a convening organization, we work with our local government membership to come up with a vision for growth. Every step along the way, we bring stakeholders together and ask questions like, how do you want to grow? The Wasatch Choice Vision provides a map for growth for the next 30 years for the Salt Lake, Ogden, and Provo urbanized areas. The vision includes a plan for land use, transportation, and economic development, so a plan for where housing goes, where jobs go, where centers of activity might be in the future, overlaid on a transportation network for 2050. To make the Wasatch Choice Vision a reality, local buy-in is paramount. Cities tell us where they want centers within their community, and then we want to help them make it happen. It's better to have a vision with local buy-in that's modest but achievable than to have a vision that's grandiose with no local buy-in. The vision is a skeleton for how we'll look in 2050, so each vision might have a center and a few transportation facilities planned within their community, and their job is then to work out all the details of this high-level vision. This streetcar that we're filming in front of today made sense because the city of South Salt Lake committed to bringing the development that would support the transit line. We administer a technical assistance program that supports communities as they try and work the details out and become the cities that they want to be. Working with the city of South Salt Lake, the Transportation and Land Use Connection funded several projects that made their vision come to life. This includes the East Streetcar Neighborhood Project, the Downtown South Salt Lake Project, Life on State, and several others. All of these projects were just thinking about what's our future and how do we get there. The East Streetcar neighborhood is this neighborhood that we're sitting in now. The streetcar is a fixed transit line that runs through what used to be an industrial area of South Salt Lake. The city has worked with developers to redevelop over 50% of the parcels along this corridor. This transit investment allowed the city to create a truly vibrant, really active neighborhood along what used to be not active at all. The transit line, along with the Parley's Trail, which has existed for a long time, this was a segment that was missing. These transportation facilities allowed the city to think big about what their land use might look like. They could ask themselves, how do we use these transit facilities to drive development in our community that needed it? This community needed revitalization. The Downtown South Salt Lake project created a plan and zoning for downtown South Salt Lake, adjacent to Salt Lake City and the East Streetcar neighborhood. This created a market. The city was able to bring redevelopment, creating jobs, housing, in a really walkable community that's well served by transportation. South Salt Lake is a built-out community right on the border of Salt Lake City, our metropolitan center. This area can be accessed by much of our region really quickly. It already had the infrastructure to support this kind of development, and this is arguably one of the city's biggest achievements in 75 years. They really created a place, and people love to be here. Utah is the fastest growing state in the country. The question is, where do these people go? Do they go somewhere out on the edges of our region, or do they come somewhere that's already served by transportation? South Salt Lake is in a perfect position to host this kind of growth and change, and all it took was a decade of planning and a lot of commitment. The Life on State story goes back over a decade. It's the story of true scenario planning along a challenging transportation corridor with a complex web of partners. State Street is a state facility that runs through much of our state. Along State Street, there's a variety of land uses. However, State Street is a 7-lane thoroughfare with a high traffic volume. The scenarios that have been explored over the years include scenarios that allow more space for transit, scenarios that allow more space for cars, and certainly scenarios that provide more green space and pedestrian amenities along State Street, each responding to the different land uses that State Street continues through. The Wasatch Choice Vision resulted in a dot on the map that is the city center for South Salt Lake. This vision is really coming to life, and it's all based on the city's commitment and the partnerships they've formed. This work meets all of the goals of the Wasatch Choice Vision. They're creating a walkable, urban neighborhood where there wasn't one before, and we're proud to support them in this work and will continue to do so. It's a great place to live, and it will be well into the future as the city continues to grow and change.